Wrestlers can enter the ring dressed as they choose and can bring anything they want to. A man can be eliminated in this match either by a pinfall or being tossed over the top rope to the floor. And the last man standing in the ring will be the winner of the Bunkhouse Brawl and also $25,000 in prize money.
So there you have the preliminary
Ted
introduction.
DiBiase?
You're going to see a history-making event in Houston,
Okay.
Texas tonight because
Never heard of Ted DiBiase.
is going to go to the winner of this 22-man Bunkhouse Battle Royal. You heard the announcer explain that the wrestlers can come in dressed as they are. Whatever they wear, they're able to use in this dangerous type explosive battle royal.
Okay, ladies
One of the
and
most
gentlemen.
dangerous in professional wrestling.
This is the Bunkhouse Brawl.
All right, we know.
If all of the wrestlers are here, gathered around the ring,
In other words of John McCarthy, let's get it on.
when I leave the ring and the referee signifies the bell, the match will begin.
So the ringside announcer quickly gets out of the ring in the smartest
Oh,
move of the
chicken
night
shit.
because 22 men now are going to battle for their lives and $25,000. We'll try our best to cover the action. We'll try our best to identify all 22 stars. But as you can see, the fight has taken place. Already eliminated was Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch. And didn't take long because he's probably one of the most unpopular wrestlers in the ring, and it didn't take long for all of them to team up. Remember, no disqualifications. They can use whatever they wore inside the ring. The winner, the last man in there, receives $25,000 as we're going to have action in every inch of the ring. Right now, you're looking at Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Terry Taylor hooking up. You can see Terry Taylor wore that leather weightlifting belt into the ring. I'm sure he has plans to use it before this battle royal is over. And you can't help but notice the man in the football gear. That's none other than Steve Dr. Death Williams, as he's wore his Oklahoma uniform into the ring as he plans to use that football gear to help him work his way to that $25,000. In every corner, we've got men battling it out. Remember, there's two ways of being eliminated in this dangerous battle royal. One is by being thrown over the top rope. The other is to be pinned. We're looking at Ricky Gibson
And
working
the
over at
superstar
Eddie Hot
has
Stuff
been
Gilbert.
eliminated.
So the superstar has been eliminated as the numbers start to dwindle. In this type battle royal, it doesn't take long to be eliminated because so many things can happen by so many men. And with so much riding on the line, these men are all out determined to win the battle royal because a lot's riding on it. Pride and reputation to say, hey, I was the toughest man of them all in a Bunkhouse battle royal. Also, that check for $25,000 has a lot to do with it as well. So you see the Nightmare now working over Terry Taylor. And that belt coming into the picture is being thrown by Buzz Sawyer
Ricky Gibson
as you start to
has been
see
eliminated.
the wealth starting to come up. And as we can hear the announcer letting the crowd know, a turn-away crowd at the St. Houston Coliseum, a jam-packed sellout. Thousands of people were turned away that night as the Coliseum was sold out. One reason was this match right here. You heard the announcer talking about Ricky Gibson being eliminated. Also in the ring, we've got people like Jake the Snake Roberts, the Fabulous Ones, Al Perez, Ted DiBiase is going to be a big favorite. We've already identified Terry Taylor and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. A lot riding on this $25,000 and the reputation and the boasting rights to say I was the toughest man of them all. Ted DiBiase, he's the man using that belt now, but he's also the man who just received that clobber behind the head by Steve Kern. Now you're looking at Rob Ricksteiner receiving the headbutt of Steve Dr. Williams. Dr. Death has a nickname for that football helmet. It's called Mr. Helmet. You see him use it, you know why he wants the recognition of Mr. before it. He's driving the helmet into the back of Steve Kern as we are now down to roughly 10 wrestlers. 10 wrestlers left in the ring to battle for $25,000. You can see the referee, he's smart enough not to be inside the ring. He is outside the ring. The only time you see him step inside the ropes is to try to administer a pinfall, but he is more concerned with watching and see who is eliminated over the top rope. In the background, DiBiase's taking a chunk out of Mad Dog's head, and following up the attack is Terry Taylor. Now Dr. Death working over Dickie Slater. We failed to mention Dickie Slater, and you better not fail to mention him because he is one of the top favorites to win this event. There's not too many wrestlers, if there's any wrestler, who's tougher and rougher than Dick Slater. But Jake the Snake Roberts is working over Dick Slater in the middle of the ring. In the left-hand corner, you see Terry Taylor working over Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. In the far left corner, you got Ted DiBiase and Steve Kern. Now you got Dr. Death making his way to that corner. He almost hit his tag team partner, Ted DiBiase, because when you get into that type of mood where you're fighting every man inside, Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. F. Williams are one of several wrestlers who have an inside track because they are tag team partners. As they have mentioned going into this Battle Royal, they are out to win it as a team. So is the Fabulous One, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. They have that distinct advantage too, that they feel that the odds are better if the two of them work together to eliminate the other 20 wrestlers. So now we're starting to see more use of the belts, more use of the fists, as the wrestlers start to resort to other means of trying to get the other men out of the ring. You can either pin them or throw them over the top rope, but you've got to eliminate them. And now Dickie Slater and Ted DiBiase hooking it up. Jake the Snake is behind Slater. We've got Rick Steiner holding that belt as he threatens to hit Dr. Death. But there's a good shot of the cat fight that's going on between Slater and Ted DiBiase. In the background, you saw Terry Taylor go crashing to the floor.
Terry Taylor.
And he is eliminated. So now into the ring comes Chavo Guerrero. Now Chavo Guerrero was not one of the original wrestlers. He was entered into the Bunkhouse Battle Royal, but you can see by the bandage on his head, he had just finished a match. He was not able to be there for the bell. He brought in a stick, and he may regret the fact that he introduced a stick into this Bunkhouse Battle Royal. That's one of the dangerous aspects of this Battle Royal, is that you may be able to bring in something or wear something, but you've got to make sure it's not taken from you and used against you. So it looks like we've got Jake the Snake Roberts has been eliminated. As with the entrance of Chavo, it looks like we're down to roughly 8 wrestlers. 8 wrestlers still in the running for the $25,000. A sellout crowd in the Coliseum. They're watching as the action continues to bust loose, as they watch some of their favorites already eliminated, as they also now start to throw their support with a few remaining favorites that they see in the ring. Slater using that stick. Going down to the mat is Al Perez. Now we've got a stick against a chair, but Steve Kern prevents that confrontation from taking place. That's Dr. Death. And I mentioned before, this is going to be one of the most unusual matches you ever saw. It's also one of the most dangerous matches for professional wrestlers. It's one reason you don't see this type battle royal too often. So we've got Stan Lane in there, we've got Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, we have Steve Dr. Williams, we have Ted DiBiase, we have Dick Slater, and the other half of the Fabulous One, Steve Kern. That's Dr. Death, who, football equipment or not, he wasn't able to stop that thrust by Slater. Look at the look, please look on Dickie Slater's face as he sent the All-American Dr. Death down on the mat. DiBiase now Slater, fighting over that stick. Is the Mad Dog lining up Dr. Death, rears back that chair, and that helmet has come in handy. Chavo Guerrero has been eliminated. So we've got Dickie Slater in the ring, we've got Steve Dr. Death Williams, we've got Buzz Sawyer, we've got the Fabulous One still in there, and we've got Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer frustrated now that he wasn't able to stop the continual charge of Dr. Death. Outside the ring, we have Ted DiBiase and Dick Slater. They are both still in the battle royal. Dr. Death now pounding on the Mad Dog. Now Steve Kern inching up. Those are the fabulous ones. And that chair catches the back of Dr. Death. It slowed them down now as Stan Lane and Steve Kern, the fabulous ones, try their luck in defeating Dr. Death. The helmet pops loose, and that's bad news for Dr. Death, because that was one of the things that was able to protect him from that use of the chairs by the fabulous ones. Now Steve Kern, and Kern crashes that metal chair across the head of Dr. Death. Up in the ring, we have 4 men. Dickie Slater and Ted DiBiase are outside the ring. They are still officially involved in this Bunkhouse Battle Royal. No disqualification. Anything goes, as they've got the Mad Dog's chain. They've got Dr. Death lined up. They send him, and then Dr. Death was able to stop that chain from coming across his neck, and that the weight of that chain crashed the fabulous ones. Ted DiBiase has the stick. He's taking care of business against Dickie Slater. Dr. Death is taking care of business against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. As the fabulous ones look on, they see DiBiase with that stick. They see Dr. Death with that chain. And the 4 men screwed outside the ring. Now, they have not been officially eliminated, but who is brave enough or crazy enough to get into the ring with Steve Dr. Death Williams swinging that chain? You can see Dr. Death. He smells $25,000. He sees his partner, Ted DiBiase, as Ted DiBiase's been egging him on with that stick. As Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase daring any of the remaining contestants to come back in the ring and battle for the $25,000. We've got the referees conferring. Ted DiBiase's in the ring. He's ready to battle. Steve Dr. Death Williams is in the ring. He's ready to battle. They are anxious to continue this Bunkhouse Battle Royal. The teamwork has seemed to be paying off as they are 2 against 4. Mad Dog making his way in the backside, trying to sneak up on DiBiase and Dr. Death. But even the Mad Dog, who there could be a great debate on exactly where he stands on the sanity level, I believe even the Mad Dog has enough common sense to get into the ring with Ted DiBiase, Steve Dr. Death Williams. There's a hookup with the chain as Dr. Death is encouraging him to come on in. Good shot as the Mad Dog debating the question, should he get back in the ring and continue the fight? Maybe logic won out. But Dr. Death Williams and Ted DiBiase have won the historic $25,000 Bunkhouse Battle Royal right here in Sam Houston Coliseum. Both men are $12,500 richer as they proved that they were the toughest men of them all that particular night at the Coliseum.